is I was going to show Necia here that there is there's a list of the top 40 voiceover influencers in the United States.
Well, you better be at the top.
So 40 of them, right?
Okay.
Where do you think I am?
You better be at the top.
You don't have a microphone.
Who's Bryce Pappenbrook?
I'm sure he's a very, very talented voice actor. And
I'm not seeing your name at the top.
He is number 1, I think, Bryce Pappenbrook.
I'm not even seeing you in the top 20.
How about the top 30?
Oh my goodness. This is unacceptable.
A list
You're not even in the top 30.
Who put this together? What is the website?
FeedSpot.
So FeedSpot, they found the top 40 voice actors that are influencers, and the number one person, how many followers does the number one voice actor influencer have?
All right, let me come up here.
If you go all the way to number
Bryce, yeah, let's see. 166,000.
166,000 for the number one voiceover influencer in America, according to FeedSpot. I have 2.4 million just on YouTube. So I feel like this is kind of a faulty website, faulty list.
Absolutely unacceptable.
I was all excited about it. I was like, oh, they're putting together a list of the top VO influencers. I was like, I should probably be on there somewhere, but not so much.
I would be frustrated too, Pete. I can't blame you.
Someone didn't do the research.
Yeah, I tried to even write them a letter, but I got busy and then actually had real voice acting to do, so I didn't get to it. Let's hop right into the calls and introduce Necia to our wonderful fan base here. Who's on the line right now?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, who's this?
This is Jack.
Jack. Where are you calling from?
Georgia.
Georgia. What's going on this evening?
Nothing much.
And what'd you want to talk about?
I don't know. I was just gonna ask you. You have a lot of different titles for what you do. I was gonna ask what is the hardest to manage?
The hardest title? Wait, hardest job? Like hardest job, hardest thing that I do?
Yeah, like you're a surfer, voice actor, content creator.
I think at this point, the hardest thing is surfing. Voice acting is pretty much, it's a business. I've been perfecting that craft for 25 years of my life. And I think going out there in the water every weekend, not being able to see what's going on, have to rely on one of these two to make sure that I don't have major accidents and or die is definitely the hardest thing I do. Brooks, you said that there were 3 waves that I could have died on last Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you had been out there, you could have drowned maybe.
I think
it was maybe not last Saturday, Saturday before.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that don't surf don't understand how crazy it can be out there. You surf, Necia surfs, you just go out there and just enjoy getting crushed.
I mean, I kind of love it, yeah. I love the almost could die part about it. It's kind of the best.
Yeah, she's like, this is so much fun. We're getting beat up. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're getting beat up. This is not fun.
I see Brooks looks at that and says, oh, I think he could die. Let's not go out. And I'm like, Pete, I think you could die today, but it could be really fun.
I forgot to bring it in here. I have a screaming donkey that somebody gave me for a blind guy unboxing. I felt like giving you the screaming donkey, Brooks, so that when someone calls up with a bad question or isn't doing good, you could screaming donkey them and we could get rid of them.
There would be too many of those.
Too many screaming.
We would get sick of the screaming donkey.
Okay, I can just do the. There you go. So if you don't like a call, you can cue it, and then we'll nix them with the buzzer. Would you like to tell everybody how you and I met, Necia?
Oh man, yeah. Through Instagram, you had a coach that had broke his collarbone, Josh. People know Josh, and you needed a substitute surf coach, while he was healing. And the very first surf session that we were supposed to go out on, we had a tsunami, the first tsunami I've ever heard of in San Diego. And there was warnings that potentially it could be they just didn't know what to expect. And I kept keeping an eye on the conditions, and I had seen your videos. I knew you were capable of a lot. And I was like, hey, I know we've never been out, but I think we should do it. I think we should take the risk and go out. And you were a little unsure, but
well, I didn't know what surfing a tsunami was going to be like. I will say, so at the time when Josh had broken his collarbone, Andy was getting ready to go out on an RV adventure. I was just so comfortable surfing with Josh and Brooks. We've been surfing together for a while, especially Josh and I, 4 years before we even started the channel together. And then I was like, how am I going to convince someone else not just to go out there and coach a blind guy, but to go out there and coach a blind guy who wants to film everything that we're doing? And and there was these two girls that were starting a surf camp. They were young 20s, something like that, or starting a clinic. And we got in touch with them and went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And at the time, I was already blowing up on social media. I had over probably 1.5 million followers at the time. I'm like, this is going to be good for them. I can blow up their social media. They can help me out. We'll film stuff. Then they sent me a disclaimer, basically saying if you die surfing with us, it's not our fault. And then they decided to expand the disclaimer. They sent me a second one. I was like, okay.
I'm like, I sent you that.
Yeah. And then they sent me a third one. And then they actually said, actually, never mind. We're not comfortable doing this. And so they completely bailed. They didn't think it would be safe to surf with a blind surfer. Did you have me sign something? I forget.
It was just a typical waiver. There was nothing different about it than everyone else that I have signed.
So
but
I'm the only one that's not illegally.
it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Brooks, you can sue Brooks.
Are you?
I don't have enough.
You can take his Tesla.
Yeah.
Are you? Do you have a microphone for you, Brooks? I feel like.
I feel like I'm not coming through though.
I can hear you.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Can you
Like
tap?
tapping, I'm tapping on it right
No,
now,
I can
so
hear you.
I
You're
can-
good.
Oh, wait. Do it again.
Hello, hello.
Ha 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 ha. Look at this. They're just figuring everything out on the fly as we go.
Yep.
All right. You're mic 2. I'm 1. You're 2. You're 3.
Why am I number 3?
I don't know. This got set up in kind of a funny way. But yes, there's Brooks over there. Everybody on Instagram and TikTok. There is me, and this is Necia, who's been, how long have you been coaching me for now? It's been,
2 years in March.
has it been that long?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well,
$1 super chat from PBS Rizzy. Thank you, PBS Rizzy.
what did PBS Rizzy say?
No message, just $1 super
Oh,
chat.
thank you very much. I don't want to try and get $3 out of someone and have it not work, but I believe if you do a $3 super chat, I think it might actually read it out loud. Let me see if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just have that up just in case. I think it might work.
Who's going to test the $3 super chat?
We'll
might.
see. We'll see. But 760-517-6844 is the phone number. Who's this?
I'm Cash.
Cash. Great name. My friends call me Cash. What's going on?
What?
So what's going on? Just call to breathe at us, or
Oh.
you got something going on?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. My audio's not very good.
Well, don't
just
tell me
I want
that.
to say hi. You're one of my favorite people on all YouTube and everything.
Thank
Man,
you. I appreciate
always
that.
wanted to say hi to you.
Well, who's the favorite coach though that you like watching?
I don't know.
That was a good answer.
There was
I'd have to think.
there's so many times when you're behind the camera most time. Banana is behind the camera when she's filming the surfing. And she's, doing the commentary of me surfing. But most of the times we're out and about, we're on the streets and we're meeting people and stuff. It's usually you. And the comments, I just kind of stopped correcting them. They're like, you and Banana are so funny. I'm like, yes, we are. But that was Necia. Because my favorite, one of my favorite parts about working with you and filming with you, Necia, is you're not afraid to run up to anybody. Like anybody on the street, you're like, this is my blind friend, or you stick the camera in their face. I feel like me and Brooks, we have a little less luck sticking cameras in people's faces. Like a big, tall, intimidating looking guy and a blind dude, people are like, don't know what to make of you.
They don't even know if they believe you.
No,
probably.
they think they're like, I'm getting punked, aren't I?
Yeah.
And then, but you just kind of just get right in their face with a big smile and, we're going to film this thing. We had one time ever, we were just south of Terramar and we walked up to a guy and you're like, this is my blind friend and we want to talk about something. And he goes, I'm not comfortable with camera in face.
Which he was so nice about. Like, fair enough. You get it, like, that's okay. You're allowed to say that.
Yeah. Out of like 300 people that we've like stuck cameras in their faces, I think one person.
I had one fell.
Yeah.
One for 300. I'm people are pretty nice.
They are. They're nice to you. They're it's like hit or miss with Josh, like, super cool looking SoCal guy with the long blonde hair. He's like, hey, can we talk to you? He's about 50-50, maybe 60-40. Me and you, Brooks, I think we're like 15%.
I would say less than that, honestly. I don't think I give off the vibes of come up and talk to us.
Yeah, not so much usually, which is good. If I want to go out and do some serious surfing, you kind of scare everybody away and get them out of my way.
That's exactly what my job is.
760-517-6844 is the phone number. We're talking to you guys. Who's this?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Beckham.
Beckham. Where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
Nice. Brooks's stomping grounds.
Also from North Carolina. What city?
I don't know.
He doesn't. He doesn't want to say.
Yeah,
That's
smart
okay.
answer.
That's
It's
fine.
right.
That's smart. What'd you want to talk about, Beckham?
My field hockey.
Field hockey. Did you ever play field hockey, Necia?
Negative.
I don't think we have a lot of experts on the sport right here, but
My
happy.
daughter did though.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy to hear your thoughts on it, Beckham.
It's a really good sport.
Yeah. Do you play?
A team on my school that I play on.
Okay. What position do you play?
Well, it's just practice.
But I assume that you're in a position when you're practicing, right?
No, it's just a practice team that we all practice on.
Okay, so there's a bunch of people on the field and a goal. Now, as far as I understand, I once asked someone to try and explain field hockey to me. It's basically lacrosse on the ground. Is that right? Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, it's basically just field hockey.
All right.
Across on the ground.
Well, thank you for the field hockey talk, Beckham. I feel like we may have lost a few people at that moment in time. But so Necia is also, I don't know where the wetsuit is. It's people have seen it.
It's on the chair over there. Do you need me to grab it?
No, there was way too many wires. But there was a period of time towards the end of last year when I was just having a lot of close calls, and you finally just kind of buckled down. You're like, I'm going to design this thing. And you sat down and just figured out how to make the blind surfer wetsuit. So the design that people see, I've given you credit for this, like on your story on Instagram, but I've never really talked about it. You really kind of took that thing from top to bottom and designed it with the yellow arm and the caution tape swirling around the leg and everything. And would you say, like the first time out, did it make a big difference? Did it ease your life as a coach?
Yeah, for sure. Like, remember we saw that one girl and we're like, what do you think his wetsuit means? And she's like, oh, well, obviously he's blind. Well, it wasn't like, they didn't think, oh, maybe this is a logo. They knew, like, caution, like, this is a real legit blind person, which helps me out so much because people, like, they get it, the information so much faster.
Yeah.
They don't have to think about it and wonder and question. They just know.
They know. You know what's funny? When I posted the video the very first time, it's always funny that the first comment is always Zen Moonmaster. And then the second comment, I released the new wetsuit. I was super excited about it. We had a really successful session. First comment is, I don't understand why there's so much caution tape all over that thing. You should just be writing blind all over it. And I'm like, the caution, you don't read caution tape. Your eye is drawn to caution tape, so you know caution, and then the one thing that you read is blind.
I mean, he's a wordsmith.
Yeah,
Right? So we love
I
stuff.
guess. And
Yeah.
you spent a lot of time like explaining for real, like this is real, like he's actually blind. Yes. And Brooks, you basically just give people dirty looks and try and get them to get away from us. But I have to ask you, why is it? I feel like every time you and I go surf, we try and find a relatively remote location as to not deal with a lot of people. There's always one dude that ends up paddling up next to us and won't leave us alone. It's not the same dude. It's just one dude is like a magnet to us.
They're
What do you think
after
that
one
is?
of you. I know.
I don't know about that.
It might be out of curiosity. I'm not sure. I think people are drawn to like, oh, there's two guys surfing over here. Let me see what what peak they're taking. Right.
Yeah.
It happens even when I'm not surfing with you. You know,
Okay.
if I'm out by myself and there's a peak, inevitably some guy comes up and is like trying to get on the peak. Right. It's just they're like, well, there must be a wave here if someone's sitting here. It's like, I'm here because I don't want to be near you.
It's kind of funny though when it is me. You will literally paddle me away from the person, and then all of a sudden, like 4 minutes later, I hear splish splash behind me. Like he's following us.
Yeah, I get very perturbed by it.
I think you put me in a lot of good positions. You know, you find the good waves for me, and I think they look over and they're like, I'll just go over there. It seems to be working.
Yeah.
And whereas me, like, I'll take you to a crowded spot and be like, this is my blind friend. We're going to help him get on a wave today. We're all going to be part of this.
Yes, and usually everybody's nice. One of the you had I'll give you the truncated version of your own story, but you had a Christmas Day meanie.
Oh yeah.
Someone on Christmas Day staked out a very popular peak and basically told Necia that he couldn't surf with her. And it was Christmas.
It was Christmas morning, and I just passed by him, and he was like, I've been here 50 years. And I was like, that is great. And I'm sure that this peak is very special to you. And I'm going to surf very respectfully around you. And we can both share the peak. And then, it's a minute, but I asked him about himself. And he started going. And by the end, he apologized for being rude. And, we got along just fine.
I love that you worked that angle. I was with you, Brooks, once when a guy threatened to, he wanted you to go on shore and fight him.
Yeah, he wanted to go to the beach.
Yeah, remember that guy? I don't even remember. I think he cut you off or something.
Cut me off really bad, and then I called him a bad word, and then he was like, "You want to go to the beach, man?" And I was like, "No, I'm not an idiot."
The fact that he
Did you
wanted
have taken him?
Who knows? I'm not trying to fight someone on the beach over a wave, so but probably.
You're not waking up in the morning to go and surf and thinking you're going to get into a fight. But this guy, he literally, and he just wouldn't, he did the wrong thing. He was in the wrong from what you described, and you wouldn't, make up a story to me, Brooks. He completely cut you off, and but then he wouldn't let it go.
Yeah, and there was other people out there who were like, yeah, he did the same thing to me. So this guy was just a complete, I don't know what word I can use here that's okay to use on YouTube, but
Not a great
not a good person.
No, but I actually couldn't believe that he wanted to. He really, and it wasn't like, you want to fight? He was like, let's go, let's paddle in, let's do it. Like, he really wanted to stop his surf session, stop surfing, go in and fight you.
I don't think he was that serious. That's probably just his go-to line every time he cuts someone off and they get mad at him. He's just like, want to go to the beach? It's like no one is ever going to actually do that because it's like, oh, we're going to literally stop our session and paddle all the way in and then fight on the beach.
Like, let's do it right here.
What kind of psycho are you?
Yeah, that was a weird one. The people that you meet out surfing are not what growing up on the East Coast and watching like Baywatch back when I could still see stuff and like surf culture and MTV videos. I just thought everybody was like super chill and laid back. Let's share waves, man. But the reality is not really like that.
No.
We are taking phone calls today. Necia is here. Banana is off. So the other blonde is getting her first FaceTime in front of. You're usually behind the camera, but today we've got you in front. You've had a couple really popular ones. You were the one that introduced everybody to what it means, what it is like to wipe, to know when you're done wiping.
Yeah.
As a blind person.
Yeah, you let me demonstrate what it's like to wipe your butt as a blind person without me knowing that I was demonstrating
Yes.
that.
that video, like 3 or 4 million on that one. That was a pretty good one.
Oh my goodness. And the shark one.
Yep.
Dolphin.
Yep.
It was I was trying to say.
You were trying to signal that there was a dolphin out there, but
with my hands on my head.
yeah, but everybody back on land is like, she's saying there's a
I
shark.
was trying to be like, it's a dolphin. But like, dolphin, shark, there's something. Come look at it. It's neat.
That was one. I think that was my 5th most popular video ever. I think it had like 10 million views or something. The 6th most popular one was you and Banana Brooks leaving me on the beach to get eaten by insects. I'm not entirely sure why that one got so popular, but I don't know. Maybe people like a stranded blind guy for some reason, but that one was pretty popular too.
I liked that one.
760-517-6844 is the phone number. Who's this?
Hi,
Hi, who's this?
Jaden,
Jaden, where are you calling from?
Florida.
Nice. What did you want to talk about?
Scuba diving.
What people calling Brooks? What's going on in the comments? Are people like daring people to call up and talk about bizarre stuff?
No, not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I was
Yeah.
I was told I did some illegal scuba diving in the Caribbean once because you're supposed to be certified and I wasn't fully certified, but I was told to be certified you have to read some gauges to know like how much air you have left or something like that. And since I can't see the gauges, I was told that I couldn't actually pass the test. Are you a certified scuba diver, Jaden?
Yeah.
All right. And where do you go?
We go to like a bridge that's near our house.
Do you ever try and find like really cool things that people dropped in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the coolest thing you found? Don't say body.
I remember one time I was with my friend and we brought a magnet and we were down in the water and because we were making sure because we found some crazy stuff, and my friend found a landmine down in the water.
Did you say landmine?
Yeah, it was a active landmine.
Holy
Whoa.
crap. So I assume you steered clear of it and notified somebody?
Yeah, we put it on the bridge and then we ran away because the magnet clicked, like activated it, and then we called the police and they sent down bomb squad.
Okay, so you found a landmine and you're like, you know what? Let's grab it. That's what went down there?
He could have his own YouTube channel
Yeah.
just based
Yeah.
on his
My
experiences.
friend was like excited and also afraid at the same time.
I would be mostly afraid, I think, if that were me. And so did the bomb squad, they came and defused it? Did they tell you?
Yeah, they came and they defused. It was mainly rotted out, so like it didn't. They said it wasn't gonna explode because like most of it was like it was taken apart, I guess, and
It's maybe
thrown down
super
there.
old.
Yeah. All right. I think in general, if you find a landmine, don't pick it up. But I mean,
Yeah.
it worked out well, I guess. How far down do you go?
We go about like 30 feet.
So is there still like light when you're that deep? Is there any light coming through from the sun above, or do you have to have lights underneath?
It's very dirty water,
Yeah.
so we have like
how
a
old
little
are
bit
you?
of light.
Yeah. How old are you, Jaden?
I'm 14.
And how long you been scuba diving for?
Like 3 years.
All right. Brooks, you ever been scuba diving?
I was certified for a while.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I had a bad experience. I'm never going again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was when I went to where the heck? I think I was like in the Dominican or something like that. Some guy with a boat. He just showed up with some scuba equipment and told me and my girlfriend. He's like, "I can take you. It's a safe spot." And he's like, "No certification required." Then when I got back to the States, they were like, "You're absolutely supposed to have certification." I was like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know."
we usually have my dad with us, and we have like ropes tied to our back, so like if anything happens, he'll pull it and we'll know to come up.
That's smart. Well, thank you for the call, Jaden. I appreciate it.
That was the best story
Yeah.
that we've gotten almost, I think, ever.
Yeah, I think one of the sticks in my head is David from Oshkosh, who calls a lot. I was talking about your worst Valentine's days ever, and he told me that he had his sentencing hearing on Valentine's Day. I was like, oh, that's not super fun. But yeah, in terms of sheer story, and I was like, you didn't pick it up, did you? He was like, yeah, we brought it to the bridge. I was like, okay, that's pretty
We
crazy.
just got a super chat from Hungarian dude
Cool.
in a currency that I believe is probably Hungarian. It's
Okay.
HUF. He gave us 400 HUF.
Ooh.
He says, "Hey, as a fellow blind guy, keep up the good work."
Thank you. I wonder, is it the Hungarian franc? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the conversion rate right now.
Okay, well, thanks.
That's $1.04.
Okay, thank you very much for the support. Thank you for the super chat. I'm still curious to know if anybody goes $3 or more, if it's going to get read out loud. It was working on Streamlabs before, but we've had so many technical problems that it's really been stress. I didn't sleep last night, to be honest with you.
no.
Stressing.
No, I woke up yesterday. My very first session was at 6 a.m. So I woke up at 5:20 because I got to do my vocal warm-ups. And then I got this new computer that we're broadcasting on now later in the day. And then I basically was up all night because I did a test show last night and it went terribly. The stupid audio was no good. And it was funny, we had some calls and people were like, the video looks good, but the audio is pretty bad. I'm like, that's my favorite part though. The audio. Are we we're not getting any issues? Anybody complaining about any audio problems today, Brooks?
Nope, no buffering. Nope, no issues. So,
Wow. All right.
mission accomplished.
I'll be able to sleep tonight. It was a lot of work. I was mentioning last night, but since no one got to hear it, I was talking about how I woke up 40 minutes before my early session yesterday. I've changed my morning vocal routine a little bit because I used to just do scales for 25 minutes, just go up, 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 down, 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 down. And I've started to feel like I was going insane doing that for 25 minutes straight. So I've started singing a song 2 times through along with my scales every day, and I have chosen to sing Frank Sinatra songs this week.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's get one.
If I sing the Frank Sinatra song, we'll get muted and taken off.
Oh, that's
though.
right. Copyright strike.
Yeah, but Summer Wind is the one I've been working on because it's just going up and down scales helps to stretch your vocal cords. But as a voice actor, you don't always do your voiceovers like this and going up and down all that. You're moving through your inflections, and a song is a great way to do that. Obviously, wish I'd thought of this years ago. And Frank Sinatra has a range very close to mine. He's a little bit higher. So it's a nice little vocal stretch for me in the morning. So that's what I wake up around 5 something in the morning, and I lock myself in that booth, and I sing Frank Sinatra to myself. It's kind of a weird start to a work day.
It really is.
I have a weird life and a weird job. 760-517-6844. I'm Pete. Nisha is here. Brooks is here. And who's in the line with us right now?
Hi, my name is Joey, and I'm a legally blind artist.
Nice. What is your art form?
I tend to do acrylic and acrylic wash paintings, and most of my recent paintings have all been paintings of blind skaters. And I wanted to call to let you know that a piece that I did featuring you is going to be in a show next year.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
And I'm going to make the show fully accessible with audio image descriptions, brailled image descriptions, and tactile versions of each of the paintings.
That's amazing. I feel like acrylic is kind of a tricky art form for a blind person. I've done some woodworking. I used to do a lot of art. I've done some silly putty art, but acrylic, can you feel the paint once it dries and once it's done? How does that work for you?
So I'm legally blind. I still have some remaining vision, and so what I do is I use a mixture of tactile skills and my remaining vision. So my vision is like 2800, and I just bring it up like super close to my face. And then to tell the colors apart, I use different stickers, tactile stickers and rubber bands on my paint tube so I can feel which ones are which.
Oh, that's brilliant. With the paint that close to your face, is acrylic paint the kind you can get high on or not so much?
It is not.
Okay, well.
My paintings would be a lot weirder then.
I was going to say, if you're that close to the paint, it's getting you a little high, it could be a pretty trippy experience.
Well, what is Pete doing in the painting? Can we ask? Is he skateboarding or is he surfing?
So it's a painting of you, Dan Mancina, and Anthony Ferraro, all riding skateboards, and like you're on the skateboard with like the really big wheels.
Yep. We did. Did you see the episode where the three of us skated together?
That's what inspired it.
Nice. I can't remember if it made the edit cut or not, but I think I was on the left, Anthony was on the right, and Dan was in the middle, and we were all supposed to skate towards the camera. And I'd given Dan one of my surf skateboards, and he's a really good skater, but a surf skateboard is a completely different animal. It's got really trippy trucks on it. And he pushed, and all I hear is, "Oh my God, we're all going to die." He kind of shot one way, Anthony went another way, and I was on the left, so I went left. I was like, when someone says we're all going to die, I'm going away from that voice. We tried that 3 or 4 times, and we ended up having a really fun day. I let Anthony ride my electric skateboard, and he was bombing that thing. He just kind of put the trigger to the max and went up and down my street, and that had a lot of fun.
That is so cool. I skateboard myself, but my best trick is not falling off for a little bit.
That's a really good trick. That is the best trick when you're on a skateboard. As the older I get, the less excited I am to fall on my wrist or butt on the pavement. This is why I begin to like surfing more and more and more. There's a risk of drowning, but you're not going to break something every single time you fall off your surfboard.
That's fair.
Is there any way, I would love to have Banana or Necia or someone see that and then have it described to me. Would there be any way you could like email me a copy, or once, after the show, maybe send us a picture of what it looks like at the show?
Sure, I can send it over. The piece, it's already posted up on my page. It's called Rollin', and there's an image description on there too. So your screen reader should be able to read out what is on there.
Oh, perfect. So is it Instagram, YouTube, TikTok? Where are you?
I'm on Instagram and YouTube. I'm also on TikTok, but barely on TikTok.
Okay.
On YouTube, I think I actually have an audio image description. So if you want to hear a human voice instead of a screen reader, you can look up Rollin', and it should show up there.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, can you spell that?
It's ROLLIN, and I'm at Joey Hernandez Art.
Okay. So Rollin', just like Rollin'. Old Limp Bizkit song, so
Yep.
we can find that.
Yeah.
All right, we will totally check that out, and hopefully some other people can pop over there. And congratulations on getting the show. I think that's extremely admirable that it's going to be fully accessible. I can't recall the last art show that I went to that I got anything out of, so that's really cool. What area of the country is that going to be at?
Fullerton, California, a couple of miles away from Disney.
All right, awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, I'll make sure to have someone grab my phone and give you a follow too, because that's kind of cool. Like a blind artist. I'd love to. I was about to say I'd love to see that picture. Like I really would love to see that picture. I'm not going to, but I'd love to have it described to me at some point. We're talking to you guys. Necia, I think, is on the phone checking out some blind art.
Yeah.
Brooks is in the chat over there. Anybody got anything interesting going on in the chat?
Everyone's just hanging. Devil's Advocate is here.
What up, Devil's Advocate? I'm curious if she ever got her cow unstuck from her tree. It's a real thing. I'm not just saying gibberish.
Great question.
I guess she had a cow fall down a hill, and they had to try and get it out of the tree with like a chainsaw and some winches and stuff. I was talking about how I start my day by singing Frank Sinatra in a small soundproof booth to my dog Steve, because he does the warm-ups with me. That's also a weird day, but having your cow get stuck in a tree is a whole different kind of a weird day. We are going to go to the. I'm just pausing because I'm trying to put them. I don't know if people can tell, because I've got two completely different setups and I have two completely different tactile units over here. There's a lot going on, but I'm really excited that it seems to be working today. 760-517-6844 is the phone number. Who's this?
Hello, this is Andrew. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Andrew from Minnesota.
You have to use the Minnesota accent, though, if you're going to talk.
Oh, okay, fun.
He launched right into it. That was great.
Love it.
I slip between Minnesota and Chicago. I know they're not the same, but I have a hard time holding one and the other. It's just one of those middle northern accents that I float between.
That's really fair. It's a lot of people.
I want you to confirm something for me. Being from Minnesota, my cousin lives there, and he got married to a brunette girl. And I have.
Okay, hold on. Let's hold on.
Yeah.
It depends what part. What part are we talking?
We're near
more north.
Near the Mall of America, wherever the heck that is.
Okay.
Now he told me, it just came up in conversation. He knew my proclivity was towards blonde women, and he said there are just more blonde women per capita up here. The more rare thing to see is a brunette girl, because there's a lot of Viking Norse blood. Was he just telling me a story, or is this true?
No, this is 100% true.
Really? So
like
there's
more. Yeah. If you go up more towards like the lakes and up towards Canada, stuff like that, there's a lot more blonde, and I'd say there's more black and blonde up there. If you're going down more towards like, South Dakota and Iowa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or not, yeah. It's a lot more of a, like, more brunette and brown.
That's
so it kind of is.
That's kind of fun. I mean, I used to be able to see. I was dating a blonde girl at the time. He's like, blonde girls are a dime a dozen around here. There's tons of them. I'm sure that you didn't call to talk about the population of blondes in your area, but that's one of those things. Like you go through your life and people tell you certain things and you take it as gospel, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, was that even true? I just kind of wanted to verify that one. Anyway, what's the actual reason you called for?
Okay, so I like your guys' content a lot, and I got a question. So with being blind, how do you feel that it's like affected your motivation, whether it be, with your surfing or with your content creation, voice acting, hobbies? Do you think that it's motivated you more, or if that motivation's just changed from before?
I think it has motivated me a lot, because from a very early age, right when I was diagnosed, an estate worker from the state of Massachusetts came and told me and my family that I wasn't going to stay in regular school and that I'd probably never have a job and I'd never be able to fully take care of myself. I heard all that stuff. And even as an 8-year-old, I'm like, screw that. Like, I don't want that to be my life. And so that was the first instance of me just being like, well, I'm going to prove that person wrong. And so I tried really hard in school and ended up getting into a good college. And then as soon as someone told me I'd never be a voice actor because I can't read copy, I was like, screw that. I'm going to work on that. I feel like losing my eyesight and just being kind of looked down on, to put it frankly, by a lot of people in the world who didn't, have any expectations for me, made me want to prove them wrong constantly. And I feel like I've just kind of been trying to prove something to myself and the world ever since.
I feel like that's a good, strong factor right there.
And I do feel like it could have gone the other way. I think, if you're told you're going to lose your eyesight, that can be defeating. That can be like what you know you're going to wake up the next day and your eyesight is going to be markedly worse than it was the day before, and that can be daunting and scary. And like, oh, why am I going to try? And the unemployment rate amongst blind people in the United States is closing in on 90%. So I think a lot of the people's takes on going blind is, well, I guess I'm just going to have to give up. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I started this channel, is to tell people you don't have to. There's a lot of resources out there, a lot of technology, a lot of great people that are willing to help you and achieve your goals and do the things that you want to. And I would love to see that unemployment rate drop dramatically in my lifetime. The fact that it's approaching 90 is just devastating to me. I think that losing your eyesight is just another hurdle that you have to jump over.
Oh yeah, of course. So then, as you mentioned that, those people that are going through that, how would you deal with that fear?
Fear is something that I have to confront on a daily basis because I put myself in a lot of situations. And it's, I think sighted people think of fear and they think of something big, driving down the 5 at 110 miles an hour at rush traffic around here can be taking your life in your own hands. But for me, Banana says, let's go to a new restaurant that I've never been to. And that's scary. I'm not going to know the layout. I might bump into a chair on the way there. I'm not going to be able to find the restaurant. Like, there is fear in everyday tasks for me. But everything in my life that I have had fear of encountering, whether it was taking surfing, meeting someone new, going to a different place, taking on a different challenge, once I get through the fear, once I, beat that challenge and overcome it, I'm super glad that I did it. I'm always happy that I did it. So now when I realize that I'm afraid to do something, I know that on the other side of it is joy and pride. So I look at fear as a positive in that way.
Well, that's an awesome way to put it.
Well, thank you for allowing me to, thanks for getting inside the head of Pete.
Yes, of course. Well, you guys have a good rest of your evening.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. We are talking to you guys. We've got Necia here and Brooks. Necia, you got any fun stories you want to relay? I've been doing a lot of the yammering over here.
You're doing good. Keep going. I'll when something comes up, I will definitely share.
All right.
Devil's Advocate said that she lost the cow.
Oh. But do you ever really lose a cow, or do you just gain a hamburger?
Wow.
Just
So
saying.
insensitive.
Oh, that's
She says she's been bottle feeding a calf, and its name is Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. Well, that one you can't. Okay. Oh, you're a Cookie Monster. That one you can't turn into a hamburger.
I'm like, I even brought you guys cookies today.
Yeah, where is that?
Oh, that's right. A while ago, someone asked me what my favorite post-surf snack is, and I said it's the cookie shop that Necia works at. It's called Batch and Box. There's a couple of them in the San Diego area, and they make the most outrageously amazing cookies I've ever had.
They're pretty good.
This month's special, I've already had one, Brooks. It's a tiramisu cookie.
You brought 2 of those, right?
Yeah, I did. I brought one for each of you.
It's
Excited.
kind of incredibly amazing. There's another special one that had blueberries and lemon in it, but I think that was just a monthly special, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one that I really like is the Pink Lady. It's just got like strawberry pieces in it.
And white
and sugar.
chocolate. Yeah.
White chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's not like you get like a strawberry cookie and it's got like some strawberry food dye in it or something. Like, there's actually pieces of strawberry in it.
Yeah, real strawberries.
I'm not just doing an ad for the place that you work for. I actually get really excited.
You're doing great.
I get very excited about cookies. And then the damn thing is so big that you give it to me after surfing every day. Yeah. And then Banana is always like, you ready to go for breakfast? And I'm like, nope.
Just need a jog, need to go for a quick another surf session.
Yeah, I ate a little too much cookie, but I'll make it work. I'll see if I can fit in some breakfast as well. How are we doing on time, Brooks?
We're at 5:39.
All right, so we still got plenty of time to talk to people. We're talking to you guys. 760-517-6844 is the phone number. Who's this?
Hello, it's Michael.
Michael, where are you calling from?
Wisconsin.
All right, and what do you want to talk about?
So I have visual impairments. I have RP.
Yep.
I have retinitis pigmentosa.
Yep.
I have been wondering, I've been doing bowling for a while now.
Nice.
I have a genuine question for you.
Sure.
With visual impairments, how do you get through the dark if you're walking outside? Like I'm trying to figure it out. So
I will address that in a quick. I just want for people that don't know if they're curious as to what RP is. RP is basically like the inverse of my eyesight disease. I have Stargardt's disease. Mine got eaten away from the outside in, and RP, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it starts in the center. Your central vision goes away first, and that's where it gets destroyed from. Is that correct?
that's macular degeneration.
And
The one I have is called tunnel vision.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it
so
goes
you
from
just have the
peripheral
center.
vision in.
Okay. And what about,
Yep.
are you asking about night? Do you have extreme night blindness?
Yes.
Okay. Getting around at night has always been, because for a long time, I've just been able to sense light and dark. And going around at
Yeah.
night has been extraordinarily difficult because there's always lights. Like unless you just walk in the middle of the country somewhere, there's a street light, there's a car light, and it's super disorienting.
Yeah.
So I will just register a car light, and then it's everything. So I will say, and it's something that a lot of people don't like this to switch over to. If you're uncomfortable just walking around and you're afraid you're going to walk into something, or if you walk into the street or walk into a person, I have to recommend getting the cane. And I hated it. I didn't like switching to the blind guy cane. But the very first time I grabbed one and I started walking down the street and people started getting out of my way, I was like, oh, this is so much easier.
I definitely get that because I have a cane. Mine represents my school colors.
Oh, that's cool.
I changed mine to my school colors, and when I started, I'm like, oh no. And then when I got to the walking on sidewalks, I'm like, yes.
That's cool.
This is kind of fun.
And I actually, because of my extreme light sensitivity, I would wear, this is when I had a little more vision and it was a little more important to try and see some stuff, but I would wear yellow, orange, or light green colored glasses at night so that it would cut down the blaring glare of the light, but would still allow me to see some outlines of the sidewalk or a car that I might be walking towards or something like that. But very light, like shooting glasses. People that or glasses you wear to a shooting range, like light yellow ones. I thought those were a big help. I'd say in my mid and early 30s, I was wearing shooting glasses every time I went out at night.
That's cool. I just got a pair of those actually. They go over my glasses, and they're green and blue, and then green and gray.
That's pretty cool.
So I have those, and they're adjusted for mine, so I can use it in the school building because this is my second year of high school. So I'm in the school building, so I have indoor ones and outdoor ones. So
what are your school colors, by the way?
Orange and black.
Oh, that was the town. That was the town next to the one I grew up in. But so your cane. See, people have asked me this before. They say, do different colors on canes mean different things? And they have standardized as much as anybody can standardize anything in Europe. If it's all white, you're fully blind. If it has red on it, you have some vision. And I think it has a red swirl. You're also hearing impaired. But in the United States, it's just, yours is orange and black. It's just, it can be whatever you want, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't know that till now, actually. It's kind of cool that you said that.
Yeah, there's a lot of standardized things. Americans are just like, don't tell me what to do, which I totally get. But I do feel like I'm curious if I was walking down the street, if I was a sighted person, I saw someone with an orange and black cane. I'm not entirely sure I'd know what it meant. But I guess, if they were moving it like a blind person, I don't know. People get confused with my cane. I use the standard white one. Brooks, you have told me that, I remember the last time you and I were walking to meet Banana at Norte, that at least one, I think possibly two people, jumped over my cane while we were walking.
Yeah, there was a group of people that they weren't paying attention. And yeah, last minute, they literally leapt over it.
Oh, it wasn't intentional? They didn't dare them to hey, I'm going to go jump over that blind guy's cane.
No.
I thought they were making a game out of it.
Something that I witnessed back when we were doing those Pete in the Wild videos is that people, they don't see you coming, and then last second they'll see it, and they're literally jumping over it, almost running into you, jumping out of the way. It was pretty interesting to see that.
I learned something. I didn't know this. A friend of mine works for Sony, who's actually hooked us up with the camera you're watching on some of the platforms, told me, he was walking with his cane, got caught in a woman's luggage. She broke it, kept going. Part of it was stuck to the luggage, and she basically took off with a part of his cane. If you break a blind person's cane, it's considered assault and battery. I guess it's a felony.
Can you sue them?
If you can find him. Yeah.
You should go walk around in Del Mar and see if you can.
Just get someone to snap my cane and maybe get a little beach house on the water.
Yeah, La Jolla or Del Mar.
760-517-6844 is the phone number. This is Nicia's debut on the show. I forced her to be a little quiet because I'm doing a lot of yapping. So if you guys got anything you want to ask her, she's out in the water with me. She's behind the camera meeting all the people, talking to everybody. Really kind of responsible for a lot of the interactions I have because I'm shy. It's hard not to be shy when you can't, like, I don't know what I'm walking up to.
Yeah. So a lot of times you put a lot of trust in me when I'm like, Pete, just come here, just trust me. Or like, we're just going to talk to somebody. You're like, who are we talking to? And I'm like, just go with it.
Yeah, you scout out the situation. Definitely in the beginning, I was like, who's she going to grab for me? Now I roll with it. We'll have to get back to more of that in a second. I did put someone on hold a minute ago, so we'll take them and see who this is. Who's this?
Hello, Pete. This is James. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I had a few questions that run through my mind, but one came up more important.
Okay.
My grandma has cataracts. What can I do to help her out?
Well, people on YouTube would tell you Mr. Beast could cure her because depending on how long you've had cataracts for, it's a very curable disease, and a lot of times they will grow back, but then you just have the surgery again. You can go blind from cataracts if you leave them untreated, but in this day and age, there's a whole different array of procedures that you can undergo, and I think Mr. Beast paid, what was it, like $1,000 per person, and he cured like 1,000 people. It's not a cheap surgery, but to get your eyesight back, I'd pay anything to get my eyesight back. So I would definitely look into cataract surgery because it is available.
Okay.
Anything else?
Have you ever tried playing Minecraft?
No. Brooks, what is Minecraft?
It's like a build your own world. It's kind of like Legos, but it's a huge, massively popular online game with the Gen Zers.
I feel like I would need to see that in order to play
you'd
that
have to
game.
see
So
it.
no, I have not played that one. I was going to say to you, Necia. Oh, yeah. You really don't give me a heads up as to who we're encountering. Like the video I just posted yesterday was about the Crocs, and I was like, I need a person's feedback on this. And you're like, there's a kid.
Okay, but first off, Pete was going off about how horrible Crocs were, like how he felt like so dumb wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
And I was like, Pete, stop talking.
What?
Because as I noticed, like as we got closer to this kid who was on a skateboard, this kid was wearing Crocs, and I was like, he looks amazing in these Crocs. So,
But then I had to be like, well, yours are probably cooler. Or maybe I was like, what color? And I was like, please don't say white. Please don't say white because I knew mine were white. And he's like, mine are gray. I'm like, well, those are probably cool. But then diarrhea of the mouth, dumb me. Like we talked to kid for 10 minutes. I knew we had Crocs, and I was still like, I just couldn't get it out of my head because Banana's been beating me down about how dorky they look. And I was like, well, I still feel like a dork in them. And then there's this quiet from the kid and his dad. And I was like, I mean, the ones I'm wearing. Yours are very cool, I'm sure. I really couldn't stop saying it.
no, sometimes it's risky taking Pete over to strangers. It's riskier for them than you.
I have made fun of someone. I made fun of mustaches in front of a person that had a mustache once.
What kind of problem do you have with mustaches? man?
Just a firefighter. Wait, do you have a mustache right now?
Yeah, I do.
All right, whatever. I'm sure yours is cool too.
Retired lifeguards.
Wait, do you have? Is it just a mustache you have, or do you have like full?
I have scruff right now, but I'm probably going to go back to the mustache again. So.
All right.
Yeah, he's got a Tom Selleck going on.
I just think I don't know, mustaches to me. All I can think of is the Pringles guy in firefighters. I don't know.
Hey, it's hot. It works.
It works, I guess.
Take it from Necia.
But the one of the things, like when you told me there's a kid, this is kind of a funny thing because I think I should get a pass. People understand I can't see them, but sometimes when you say there's a kid, I'll be like, hey, what do you think of this surfboard? And I'm like looking down because there's a kid. But then I hear this like, oh, that's a cool surfboard, and you refer to it as like an 18-year-old.
Everybody's a kid to me because I have my own kids are like 16.
Some
18.
like 6'2" kid who's like 18 years old. I'm like, oh, Oh, high up there. Sorry about that. But yeah,
I'll keep that in mind.
it's a total. You will just approach anybody. I think about the random people. I was using my lightsaber as a cane one day, and you just grab two people on the side. Two people on the sidewalk. Literally, you told me got out of the sidewalk and went in the street to get away from me.
Because you're waving this lightsaber
Yeah,
around.
and then you managed to wave down a couple that was on vacation in Oceanside from New York, if you remember.
Oh, vaguely.
Yeah, you got them to talk to us. But yeah, a lot of times I'm just doing something bizarre, like I got a mask on or trying out some weird cane or just doing something weird, and you somehow lure them over.
People are so good to
Is
us.
it your winning smile?
It must be it.
Is
Is
it
it, guys?
Is it your blonde hair?
Really?
What is it? What is it?
Yeah, put it in the comments.
I
What?
think it's your blonde hair.
The blonde hair makes me more approachable.
Yeah, your blossoming personality,
Blossoming like a
Yeah.
flower.
like a flower.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am wearing flowers on my shirt today.
Oh, nice.
Does that help, guys?
You are. Is this the right word?
Someone's asking how tall you are, Pete. I'm gonna go ahead and say 6'5".
There you go.
He's not 6'5", guys.
There was a.
Lies.
I'm about 5'9", except real quick when the video when I posted my gun license online and I blocked out all the pertinent information. The 5'9", bless you, looked like 6'9". So I was you were joking. There was one video like we're just a bunch of giant dudes. Like we added a foot to us. So I was 6'9", you were 7'3".
Yeah.
Josh is 7 feet tall. I'm like, you're just a bunch of huge dudes coming down the road.
I'm like 5'5".
You're 5'5". Bless you, Brooks.
Thank you.
I'm a very average 5'9".
Someone asked, when did Necia start surfing?
Ooh, when I was 30. I didn't go out on a surfboard until I was so. If you're still waiting to find, you're like, I don't know what I'm passionate about in life. Like, it took me 30 years. The first time I went, I was just hooked. I just knew, like, I love this. And then I became addicted after that. So, yeah, if you might discover your passions in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, it just, yeah, be open to saying yes to new things. That's my advice.
I didn't grab a surfboard till I was 39. You started like teenager, right, Brooks?
Oh, yeah, I was 13.
a little bit of a head start on me. You were literally 3 times younger than me. I was 39. You were 13.
Yeah, Brooks is a little better than us.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll bounce
You
back.
guys are on the way there.
Getting there.
thanks.
Another 30 years, I'll be
We'll keep
as good as
practicing
you.
together.
Yeah. I put someone on hold a couple minutes ago. So when someone's on hold, there's this really annoying robot voice that goes, "You're up next. Turn down the stream. You're up next. Turn down the stream." And I feel bad when I leave someone sitting on hold for too long. So who's this?
Hey, Pete.
Hey, who's this?
It's me, Mitchell, again.
Mitch. Wait, didn't we talk earlier in the show?
No, actually.
Oh, okay. What's going on? What's going on tonight?
Nothing. I was gonna call, but it was bugging for some reason. I didn't, I like to let other people get a chance to call you.
Okay. Well, so you're just calling to say hi then?
Yeah, also, I have 2 things.
Okay. Say hi to Necia too.
Hi, Necia.
Hey, Mitchell. Is it Mitchell? Wait.
Yes.
Yes. Are you in screen, Necia? Okay.
She is.
What was one of your questions, Mitchell?
I have a question for you. It's an old-timey phrase. I want to see if you know it.
Oh, good. Turnabout is fair play. So fire away. See that old time.
Do you know what kick the bucket means?
It means to die.
That's it. Though.
Yep, you got it right.
To croak.
Woo! Boy.
I would say. Oh wait,
Clapping.
wait. I'm gonna ding myself. I forgot. There we go. I have the old timey phrase stuff up there. Did you have another phrase to try and stump me with?
No, that's one of the only ones I know.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, Mitchell. I appreciate it. Where were you when you learned to? I'm curious. I feel like you're far away. Am I?
Okay.
Well, I know you're in frame on the horizontal platforms, but I don't know
it
if
might be other.
in the verticals. I think people
Am
might just
I
be looking
in
at your
here?
knees.
We can just be close.
What state were you in when you started surfing?
California.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you like took a vacation while you were in Colorado
I
or
actually
something
learned
like
in
that.
the Bay Area, like up by San Francisco.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is a lot colder and more territorial and sharky.
Sharky. I mean, that's all sorts of fun stuff. You've surfed up in that area, Brooks, right?
Yeah, I love Ocean Beach. It's one of my favorite places to surf.
Heavy, yeah.
So up there as a beginner with heavy waves, sharks, and more territorial people, is it just a nightmare for a beginner? Well, you're a girl. Everybody's probably nice to you, but
pretty nice.
Yeah. I feel like being a beginner there would be like terrifying.
It was, but I kind of loved it too.
Did you surf Pacifica?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd see like chunks of sills floating by you.
Ew.
You'll get attacked by sharks there all the time.
It's called the Red Triangle. There are more great whites that pass through there than the Australian reef.
Wow.
Surf in Santa Cruz?
I did, yeah.
I love Santa Cruz.
Pensacola,
Yep.
Pleasure Point.
Steamer.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a great place.
At this point, I'm kind of
Cowles was my very first place.
Cowles is where
Cowles
everyone
is a great
starts.
beginner spot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the fear of sharks at this point. Like, it's just they're either there or they're not there. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. But in the very beginning, when I was out there, especially not being able to see, I kept being petrified. I'm like, what if there's a shark right next to me? And then I realized, like, it doesn't matter. There either is or there isn't. I can see it or I can't.
There's lots of sharks next to us.
Great, but I do feel like if I was trying to surf, it was one of my like big phobias in the beginning. I feel like if I was surfing up there, I might have chickened out in the beginning. But there's a lot of sharks near us, like all the time.
I mean, during 2020, I had a place in Del Mar that I would surf, and we had friends with drones. And so almost every surf session, we'd be able to see what was in the water. And there were several sharks.
Del Mar is known for it. Del Mar is like a breeding ground.
Yeah. We had almost, and we would be out there with them. And as long as they weren't being aggressive or getting too close, we would just stay in the water with them. Yeah.
You, sir, where are you? I always feel like, do you have your microphone in front of your face?
Sorry,
when you're talking?
right here. Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Yeah.
Basically, you're getting picked up on my microphone the whole time.
No, I'm so loud, luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah, sharks every session for like a year and a half.
Didn't you recently, when you went back to North Carolina, Brooks, didn't you paddleboard over a hammerhead?
Yeah, a hammerhead. I was up in the marsh. A little 5-foot hammerhead just came right up, slithered right up, and then slithered right away like a little snake.
A hammerhead, like those. That's the one that has like the tubes on either side of its head, right?
Yeah, it's got these kind of. I don't know if tube is the best word, but yeah,
You're making it sound like Shrek.
It
was really cool. It was really cool. I'd never seen one in person, and I was literally right above it. It was about 5 feet under my board.
Ooh.
And it was really clear. It was super cool, actually.
Is that like a bull shark will beat you up? Is a
bull shark they're aggressive.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about hammerheads attacking people. I know they can, but it's not common.
Yeah. Bulls for sure in the East Coast.
Yep.
But yeah, great whites, we have plenty here. Is they're not over 8 feet. We don't really worry that much because they don't really start, their mouths aren't really that big to eat bigger animals until they're about 8 feet. So we see a lot of juveniles, like
I've been out at
under.
San Onofre where, I mean, the people there, they see them all the time.
All the time.
Because they're juveniles.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out in the water there and people see it. Oh, there's a shark. No one even moves,
I guess. I mean,
I've had 8 feet ones underneath me. Like I could almost reach down and touch.
Whoa.
It was
That's crazy.
Yeah, that one I went in on.
I mean, I have gotten hit twice by stingrays, so technically I feel like those are more dangerous. What lifeguard was I talking to? Some lifeguard. There was like a stingray warning, and people kept going into the beach, kept going into the water, and they kept getting stung and stung and stung and stung to the point that they ran out of those like Insta Heat packets.
Oof, yeah.
Like, those things are mean. Well, I guess we're mean for stepping on them, but I think there's a lot more stingray attacks than shark attacks. I assume.
100%.
Where are we at for time now, Brooks?
We're at 5:59.
All right, we'll take one more call, and then we'll do some final thoughts. And then one of us is going to have to go and edit because the first 3 minutes of the show didn't have any audio. I tried so hard, people, to make this work. And then I pulled one tiny little, it was a 1/4-inch cable. No, it was a 3.5 millimeter cable, and it just came out a little bit. And that's why you couldn't hear us in the beginning. But we're here now, 760-517-6844. Who's this? Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Yeah, it's Omar from Georgia, Savannah, Georgia.
Omar, what's going on tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm just asking. I was just quite interested. I'm visually impaired myself. I have optic atrophy.
Oh, I feel like we spoke.
Tumor.
It's probably been like 3 months, but I feel like you and I spoke a while ago, correct?
Yeah, we spoke about that time. Your memory is quite good, huh?
I think so.
Yeah. So I was looking at your unemployment rate. So I didn't get to finish high school. Each time I started, my tumor came back and I slowly lost more and more vision. I'm trying to get my GED and hopefully can start college by January of next year or this fall. Who knows?
Well, good for you.
So I'm saying, sometimes just the thought of, accommodations in the blind community can suck at times, especially, and people just don't get the scope of what you're going through. How do you get through that?
You know, it's I have a philosophy, and a lot of times I don't necessarily feel like I come down on the same side of things as the rest of the blind community. I know that there's a lot of people that are, you know, on their social media handle says blind advocate, and I think that's important. I do. I think accommodations are important. I think when other people can help you out, it's important. But I've always been of the mindset, and this just kind of sounds cold, but it's how I've gone through life, that my problem shouldn't be other people's problem. Now, if someone's willing to help, if there's an accommodation there, I'm happy for it. But if there's something that I need to accomplish and the accommodations aren't in place, then I trigger my mechanisms of how am I going to accomplish this on my own. I feel like it's more productive for me to find my way through a difficult situation than to start raising a ruckus and trying to get someone to accommodate me. And honestly, it's a mildly selfish way of functioning, because if I did raise a ruckus, if, you know, I encountered something that was inaccessible at Disneyland and I brought it up to someone there, they could fix it for people in the future. But I find going through life day to day, I try and solve my own problems as quickly as I can. How do you feel about that, Omar?
I agree. You know, but some persons are just not as outspoken. So that's why I think, you know, I'm trying to see if I can get a bachelor's in social work to be that voice to advocate on different levels, not just for blindness, because, you know, there's so much things from even just the infrastructure. I'm pretty sure you've been tripping over all sorts of sidewalks like myself. So,
yes.
you know, just the little things. Yeah.
Well, I admire your tenacity that you're going to go back and get that done. I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, I don't want to be another statistic in this whole thing. I wanna continue to live my life regardless of what my cards I was played.
Good for you.
You got a really cool accent.
Yeah.
What
reminds
is?
me of Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
I'm Jamaican.
It's
Oh,
Jamaican.
that's cool, man. Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds really cool.
Did you live in Jamaica for the early part of your life?
I moved here when I was 15. Yeah, 15.
That's it's a fun accent.
I've just been here 4 or 5 years this year. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that's where you should go and surf. I don't surf myself, but
Jamaica?
I always,
Microphone.
when I had more vision, those waves were pretty big in the western side of the island.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should all go on a trip.
I have been to Jamaica. I used to take vacation because I lived in Boston. I took a trip there to Dun River Falls. I hiked up Dun River Falls.
Yeah.
And I also, is Rick's Cafe in Jamaica, or am I mixing things up? Is that where the cliff jump is?
Oh yeah, Rick, yeah, that's on the western side. They have a nice beaches on that side too. Yeah, that's the western side of the island. Yeah.
So
you've done most of the island already. Then.
Yeah, I really used to go down there quite a bit, and I believe this is something I was told when I was jumping off the cliff at Rick's Cafe. You can tell me if it's true or not. I'm fact checking myself tonight. Now I jumped off the cliff, and like an idiot, I had a Movado watch on that was like a clasp watch, and as soon as I hit the water, because it's a pretty big jump. The clasp popped off and it went down to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
Someone
it happens to like rings too. Yeah.
It happens to a lot of jewelry, but basically, so I was told that there's a bunch of local kids that basically wait until all the tourists are gone for the day and then dive down to the bottom and pick up all the stuff that fell off of them. Is that true?
It's true. Yeah, or you can pay them to retrieve it for you too if that's what you want.
Oh man, I should have done that. It would have been cheaper than buying a new watch.
I got a question for you. Are you a reggae fan?
Or if he said I'm into reggae?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how deep you're in. I don't know if you know past Bob Marley, but you know, other than the great Bob Marley, I listen to a lot of reggae and
I'm
90s dancehall.
Oh, dancehall's cool. I'm a big Peter Tosh guy, so I always wonder.
Oh yeah.
Peter Tosh versus Bob Marley. What's your pick?
You really gonna put me in that situation, bro?
Sorry, man.
It's a hard one to choose.
I love Peter Tosh.
I mean, Peter Tosh has some great hits. I mean, he died a bit younger, so I don't know if what he would have done if he had progressed some more. But I love both of them, but I have to lean more to Bob Marley more because of his depth. You know, in terms of musical range, in terms of the albums over the years.
I like
And if
that
you really,
documentary movie.
sometimes it's confusing even as a Jamaican, but if you really listen and interpret, it's really deep.
It really is. Yeah, Peter Tosh, I feel like it's kind of darker, It's kind of a different
Yeah.
tone.
I agree.
I find that about a lot.
I
Like you
agree.
listen to music, like you've really listened to music. Like as a kid, I'm listening to songs, and I was going back into the '70s and Pink Floyd and stuff. And you listen, you're like, it's gibberish. Like I don't even know what these people are saying. But then same thing like you were just saying about Bob Marley. Like you really listen to what he's saying, and it's like very important stuff. And you're like, oh, this isn't just a cute little rhyme. Like he's talking about some very serious things. A lot of very good music. People overlook lyrics. I'm a big lyrics person these days, but a lot of people overlook good lyrics, I think.
Well, man, thank you for being a motivation. Before I go, I want to ask you another question.
Sure.
Have you been into those Ray-Ban glasses recently? 'Cause I got one, and it's been game changing for me, man.
Okay, I guess I got to get on that. You're talking about the Meta glasses, right?
Yeah.
I have not gotten a pair of those yet. I know that they do a lot of image detection, text to speech, character recognition.
It's a bit more than that too. It has boost my independence a whole lot, along with my blind guy cane, as you call it.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I will look into those.
Yeah.
I've been I'm comfortable with the amount of stuff I'm using and the way I'm living my life and where I am. I'm feeling good at the moment. I haven't been looking for another piece of technology to, in one respect, technology is great. It helps you. But in another respect, like you just kind of end up carrying around a lot of stuff and relying on things. And it's always a bit of a poor substitute for actual eyeballs. But I will look into those. You're not the first person to mention that, so I think I should look into them.
They're pretty minimalistic, so I would say it's just something to look into.
All right. Well, thank you for the push, Omar.
Continue to motivate us, man. Thank you. I think there's something wrong with the call queue because it keeps dropping people when you get in. I have to call back a bunch of times.
It only lets 6 people in at a time, and if you call,
I know I was in that 6, and then it just dropped.
It did drop you?
2 times.
Guess I'm gonna have to stress about. Oh, I just killed Omar by accident. Another thing for me to stress about tonight, but we seem to be getting a fair amount of calls. So Omar, good luck getting the GED, moving on. And that's he's coming at things from a different mindset. I just want to go back to what he was talking about, how I deal with when I encounter adversity. He wants to be in social work and help out other people. I've always found myself. I've been working in a very competitive field, extraordinarily competitive, voice acting. And that's why, my life experience, when I'm encountering challenges in that business, I can't put my hand up and go, hey, I need an accommodation. I need this script in larger font, or I need it read to me, because then I just get kicked out of the line and then the next voiceover person gets it. So my mentality has been slightly different. I've been in a kind of a cutthroat world for a lot of my life. So I just wanted to address why that's my mentality. Necia, anything you want to say to the people that are, I think a massive amount of people that watch and follow don't really realize how big of a part of the channel you are, because you are behind the camera a lot.
Oh, people are so nice though in the comments. I love when people reach out and say hi, or like, good job, Necia, trying to go down the stairs with your eyes closed. I appreciate the community here. You guys are awesome.
Well, you make a ton of this content happen, so I appreciate it. Mr. Moderator over there, another great job tonight. Anything we should address before we wrap it up?
No, just kind of everyone's happy right now. So.
Any stories you want to tell before we go?
I just think Omar was like one of the coolest callers we've ever had.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
I like talking to Omar. The very first time we spoke, his phone was not super awesome. It was a little hard to hear him, so glad to have a little more of a conversation tonight. I am very proud and excited that I somehow managed to make this thing work tonight. I have no idea how to make it end, so I'm going to kill the microphones after we get out of here, and then you can watch us fumble around this room and try and figure out how to stop this thing. But we'll be doing it while eating really excellent tasting tiramisu batch and box cookies. Batch and box cookies. Woo! All right, thank you, Necia. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, everybody out there. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Thank you very much.